The drive from Madrid to northern Spain was quite a challenge. And even after making it to the base of Picos, I felt quite bummed since the skies were pretty much covered in clouds until they cleared out this morning. I'm so excited to finally be on the trail, en route to Refugio Collado Hermoso. Those peaks behind me were hidden under the clouds yesterday and the day prior. And I just thought that today I was gonna be hiking in the midst of fog and everything, but I'm so glad that it actually cleared out. The mountains are just breathtaking, figuratively as well as literally.
My first few steps on the trail were reinvigorating, and as I rapidly gained elevation, the valley of Valdeón stretched its arms wide open, revealing the beating heart of Europe. The residual iron smell on my hands from pulling on bolted chains reminded me that perseverance is a choice. And if the last few meters were any indication of the kilometers ahead, then my choices were about to be tested. After all, I chose the backcountry over the city, mountain peaks over skyscrapers, and the sounds of chirping birds over traffic pollution. I chose Picos de Europa.
After that initial climb, it was quite refreshing getting to this sort of a flatter, meadowy area. I think the next kilometer or so, it's not gonna be so much fun because the trail goes up that way. And looks like that hiker has made it to the pass. So I made it to the pass, and I thought that from here I was just gonna keep going down, but I guess I was wrong. However, the views from here are to die for. They're just so cool.
Entre la niebla temprana me siento como un halcón y sobre tu falda asturiana descubro cada rincón. Cantabria a ti se arrodilla, se encoge mi corazón. Bella y ancha es Castilla, desde tierras del León. Late tu roca, tu alma es de hielo, ríos que corren, bosques que arropan, picos que afloran a ras del cielo. Respiro tu aire, mi sangre galopa, alzas tu copa en tierra de nadie, hoy algo renace en Picos de Europa.
We often romanticize hiking, but when the lights go off and fatigue sets in, it's pretty ugly. That's where I came from. I'm so done. Just came across a really cool surprise. Not expecting it at this time of the trail. I feel like I had lost all hope. But there it is. Refugio Collado Hermoso. Oh, I thought for a second I was not gonna make it. It was pretty rough. But I guess I'm here. Just now setting up my tent and getting ready for a siesta, just following in the footsteps of Spaniards. Dinner is at 8 p.m. and then after that, hopefully, I don't know if the skies are going to clear out, but I'm really hoping to see the sunset. That's one of the reasons why I came up here, specifically to this refugio. And yeah, I hope I get to see the sunset. So fingers crossed.
Based on the current weather conditions, there was no sunset. Something I was really looking forward to, but I guess it didn't happen tonight.
Day 2, 7 a.m. on my way to breakfast. Got a little bit of a headache this morning. I did not have a good sleep last night. For some reason, my sleeping mattress kept deflating multiple times throughout the night. In the end, I think I was able to figure out what the issue was. But I guess now all I'm left with is a headache. Hopefully, it'll go away once I get going.
My initial plan was to shoulder the mountain to the top at Vega de Lourdes and hike it across to here, El Cable. But such a route required trail finding skills, which I don't have. So I continued the path down to Fuente de, and from there the plan is to take the gondola up to El Cable and hopefully continue down to Sotres, where I'll spend the night.
After lunch and a less than 5-minute cable ride up, I'm back on top of the mountain. Destination, Sotres. I think it's about 10 kilometers. It's almost 4 p.m. It should be a fairly easy hike down the valley.
Picos de Europa is comprised of three main macizos, or massifs in English: Eastern, Central, and Western. The Central Massif has to be the most impressive one due to its dramatic jagged peaks that rise nearly vertically, well over 2,500 meters above sea level. The idea of conservation, quote, containing men and beast in all the wild and freshness of their nature's beauty, end quote, was born a couple of centuries ago. And while national parks strive to limit the human footprint, Picos de Europa has been transformed by human activity over millennia, giving rise to advocacy voices for keeping the status quo, a phenomenon best understood through a cultural lens.
Finally, in Sotres. Today was a 20-kilometer or so trekking day. I am, as usual, exhausted, and that only means one thing: time to crash. Day 3, still in Sotres. Like I said the other day, once the lights go off, one must still deal with exhaustion and muscle cramping. For that reason, I decided to stay behind and chill for the day. In the meantime, I'm gonna bus to the nearest community and wash my one piece of underwear and take it from there. Just returned from my laundry trip, which took me the entire day. Quite uneventful though. But for the small town of Sotres of just over 100 people, things are about to get busy. The town is expected to welcome 400 runners between tonight and tomorrow morning. The Traveserina is a 46-kilometer race that starts right here in Sotres, goes through mountain paths, and finishes in Arenas within an 11-hour window. And by the sounds of it, it's pretty intense. The start of the race this morning set an upbeat tone to the start of my day as well. My plan for the day was to hike up to Urriellu and then down into Bulnes, but just given my overall physical condition, just gonna head down to Bulnes instead. And this is day 4.
Unlike most treks I've done in North America, hiking in Picos often involved steep elevation changes of over 1,000 meters. The grueling first 2 days on the trail wiped me out. My knees took a hard beating, and the only way I could push forward was by waddling like a duck.
The ground is pretty muddy and slippery. It must have rained last night, but this is the same path that the runners went through this morning, and for that I've got great respect. It's not easy. Finally see the town, Picos de Europa, right there at my pace. I'm sure that's still like another 1 or 2 hours, despite being on the trail for, I don't know, 4, 5 hours. These mountains behind me are some giants. They're huge. They rise vertically. One can only feel so small. This is day 5. I'm feeling a little bit better, less sore, and I think it's time to get back on top of the mountain. I'm attempting to do Vega de Ario today and camped there for the night. Just waiting for the coffee shop to open up this morning, and then I'll be on my way out.
My original 5-day itinerary in Picos revolved around the Central Massif, looping back to Cordillanes via Ruta del Cares. However, due to the small battery of my car rental and the limited charging stations in rural Spain, I opted to abandon my plans for the Pyrenees and remain in Picos, exploring the Western Massif instead. The Ruta del Cares runs through the deep Cares River Gorge, severing the Central Massif from the western one. Originally built to support the construction and maintenance of the hydroelectric power plant in Poncebos, the trail is nowadays one of Picos' most popular attractions.
I left Ruta del Cares about 20 minutes ago. Now en route to Refugio de Ario, Vega de Ario. I understand the first 2 kilometers out of 4 or so are the roughest due to the steep incline. But at the same time, looks like I'm gaining significant elevation quite quick. Whew. I think my own battery, it's even smaller than the Fiat 500. got little to none charge left. It's been rough. I kind of started all the way down there. It's been rough, but I guess I'm making okay progress.
Somewhere above 1600 meters in Picos de Europa exists a natural balcony overlooking a golden sea of clouds drifting with the wind. Those who dare to climb it stumble upon a mere projection of their own introspection. And unlike the clouds, these eternal wanderers too go where the wind blows.
So last night I slept in the middle of a cattle farm. I kept being waken up in the middle of the night by the sound of bells right next to my tent. But overall, I slept okay. I left Refugio Vega de Ario a few minutes ago. And just before doing so, I had breakfast. And while in the process of paying for it, I left a small tip, at which point the refuge keeper said, "Wait." She went to the back of the kitchen and shouted, "Bote!" She came back to me and I was like, "What was that all about?" And she said, "Anytime anybody leaves a tip, that's our own way of making others aware." So with that in mind, I dropped a few more euros and back she went, shouting again, "Bote!" I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, I'm on my way to Refugio Vega Redonda, just over 16 kilometers or so. And yeah.
Mornings in the Western Massif quickly warmed up. Sweat poured down my face. And with each step forward, I felt like I was stepping backwards. Backwards to a time when shepherds live in mountain huts while tending to their sheep and cattle, dedicating themselves to the production of milk and blue cheese. This cultural integration is rooted in the park's core, and it is part of every trekker's experience, although one that's sadly disappearing.
The trail to Refugio Vega Redonda would be an easy to moderate trail. And today I didn't record much because the scorching sun just made it very difficult. So far I've had dinner and now all I'm waiting for is for the sun to sink over the horizon. And so far things look really good.
The drier weather led to clearer skies, resulting in beautiful sunsets. In a moment of self-reflection, I recalled the painting entitled "Wanderer Above the Sea of Fog." Regarding this masterpiece, The German painter Friedrich said, "The artist should paint not only what he has in front of him, but also what he sees inside himself."
Some of the climbs can be very demanding, and this one, out of Refugio Vega Redonda, is no exception. The trail keeps going up that way where those red flags are. I believe it goes up to the pass, and the trail continues on top of the mountain for a good number of kilometers. I think it's like 8-10 kilometers. And then you can decide, I guess, which direction, which trail you want to take from there. Whew. I'm sweating already. And it's only like 8:30 a.m.
Rumors of a potential evening storm and the challenging terrain forced me to change course and cut my trekking short by one day. Although disappointing, I instead focused on the small moments I would take home with me. Moments such as standing high above the clouds, strolling past shepherd huts, and hearing cowbells next to my tent. Precious moments full of nostalgia, now whispering the name Picos de Europa.
Today, there were 99 times I believed I would not make it to the car. But this one time, I did. And here I am, after 7 days in Picos de Europa.